Okay, welcome back everybody to another episode. So, finally, we're going to be engaging in a little bit of peace here. In the last episode, we gained the French dynasty, which is extremely exciting. It's also the dynasty of Lorraine, which is pretty insignificant, but perhaps they will ally someone and it will help spread that dynasty. Who knows? I am going to try to keep the English happy with us. I've noticed that the English actually don't have any allies, and that's going to increase their likelihood of wanting to have us as an ally. Yeah, so that when the time comes, if it ever does come, here's hoping, when we claim their throne, we can essentially ally England up and more than likely bring them into an offensive war against the French, whose diplomacy is looking pretty weak. As of right now, it's just myself. So if it was the same scenario, it would be at least the English and myself versus him. And considering he has a 0 in military and I have a 5, we're probably gonna almost certainly have better military tech than him in the years to come. Otherwise, when our truce ends with this coalition, which is what, 14 years away, that's quite a long time away, but regardless, Venice is so small nowadays that we could probably bring Venice into the empire by exterminating him and bringing these two provinces in. Of course, I really want to bring Naples into the empire, these lands, and that's really where I wish to expand. Unfortunately, like I addressed in another episode, we are facing a super Spain. This is kind of the almost as realistically as the Spanish can do. Of course, Aragon's lost a province, and he hasn't expanded as much as he potentially could have, but still, that's pretty strong, and his diplomacy is pretty strong with the Polish and the Portuguese, so that's going to be quite difficult. It did occur to me after the last episode, the method of dealing with our loss of wars. We could probably attack Ragusa, which would bring us into a war against the Ottomans, and then we could probably peace out the Ottomans by releasing lands within the empire. The problem is, what more do we wish to release? I mean, there's Hanuit, we could release Aquileia and Urbino. We could also release Burgundy, but the problem with, I've noticed, I think in this patch, you cannot release Hanuit and Burgundy. It will just release Burgundy if they have core on the same provinces. Huh. Okay, speaking of which, he's about to lose his core next year. So in fact that would work after next year. Interesting. Great. So we could release a total of 4 provinces into the empire, 4 different independent nations. My only concern is that wouldn't be enough war score to actually separate peace them, although I think it probably would be. After that, of course, there is Tyrol we could release, but that would actually really, quite frankly, that would really cripple us. I'm going to go ahead and tick up our diplomacy tech for -10 value. Our military is getting so far ahead, it's kind of inevitable that we should be spending some military. Okay, that's 17, let's spend some here. On development. Let's spend some on development. We don't really have anything else to do with the military power. I could hire another general. That's probably what we'll do next. So in other news, the reform desire is actually really high now. I think I'm not sure exactly how this actually works within the game in detail, but the impression that I'm under is when it sort of reaches 100, it's going to happen. Although I think it is possible at sort of 90 plus. So we are at risk of the Protestant Reformation happening, which is a shame because we're really doing really well in this regard to the imperial authority every month. In fact, if there was peace within the empire, I think it tells you. No, it doesn't tell you while there's no peace. But I think you get over 10, or maybe it is 10, which would be 0.28 a month. Whoa! Okay, I think we're going to take this because our legitimacy is just so bad. But 452 ruler is pretty tempting. See, this is the Habsburg dynasty I was talking about. So, no. Gosh, no. We would rather keep French dynasty. I was talking about this event is possible last episode to actually, if you lose Habsburg dynasty, you basically can choose between it. Now, I hope this happens again. Oh gosh, I'm not sure we can get this event more than once. Well, we are going to keep the French dynasty. So thank you for the one legitimacy, I suppose. I'm sorry, my beloved Hungary. For those of you who don't know, I am Hungarian, or my lineage at least, in real life. And I love them. But I think it has dawned on me that the smartest strategic thing to do is to expand into Hungary right now. They would not be that difficult, they would be a bit of a pushover. And this is all land that we can bring into the empire, which is the best method of gaining imperial authority during the sort of times of turmoil, i.e. the Protestant Reformation. So, with that being said, I think we're going to expand into Hungary, probably taking like all of the Croatian region, considering we're going to go for this land as well, is the smartest method of doing that. And his diplomacy is looking pretty bad right now. We are over our diplo relations slots, so I think that's the smartest thing to do. I really wish I could rival him in order to get rid of our royal marriage. We're having a lot of unrest issues due to our legitimacy being so low and our war exhaustion being high. Oh no, we got a civil war up and coming. Uh-oh. Okay, it's not progressing at all. So that's okay. Our legitimacy will increase with time. It's increasing at quite a rapid rate. Okay, I think we're okay in that regard. The sooner we dissolve our alliance with him, the sooner our truce will begin to dissipate. And I'm sorry, Hungary, but I think that is the best method of expansion, just like the AI so often does. Yes. It's really the obvious choice. If we bring all of this into our empire as core land into the empire, which should not be that difficult, then we'll find ourselves being really strong and able to deal with the Ottomans much more easily, and then potentially the Iberian Peninsula much more easily as well. So I think that's definitely the obvious choice. We can change our rival, but the problem is we like all these rivals. So we're just kind of really hoping that we lose our royal marriage shortly with the Hungarians. Yeah, I don't know what else to say apart from that. We should still be focusing on the empire if there is any lands that could be released. We could release the Palatinate from Mainz. What else could be done? Of course, we could release Senia. And if he moves his capital, we could release Pisa as well from Florence. But he's part of the coalition truce, I believe. Oh! Okay, this is a good chance to attack Mainz, now that Bohemia would not back them up. It's at the cost of one imperial authority. You know, man, it's really hard to tell if it's even worth it, you know? Taking one imperial authority in order to release one nation. Two nations, Wurzburg as well. Okay, let's do it. Gonna have to send him an insult because our relations are too high. Of course, we could release two nations from Bavaria as well, but yeah, let's wait and see. Maybe the Polish will not back up Bavaria once they really get engaged in this war, but I doubt it. We have the coalition truce with him as well, so that's not going to happen. It was much easier to complete our create a navy mission because our coastline is so much more pathetic nowadays. Proving legitimacy gives us one reputation until the death of our ruler. That's pretty darn good, but it's going to take quite a long time to actually do that. Of course, this did come to fruition as best as possible. I believe... Oh! Okay. That's unfortunate. I was under the impression that the Teutonic Order would not lose core on any of these lands, apart from this because of the Polish culture group, but they are going to. It's still not the end of the world because we did release another nation inside the empire. But yeah, we would really like to return core. We've got 11 years to do that. 11 years. With that being said, forget the Croatian region. Let's go ahead and try push to actually obtain a border against the Poles, and that way be able to engage in warfare with them sooner rather than later. So we're on a timer in regards to bringing the Teutonic Order all of this core land. The provinces that were conquered later, we have more time, but the provinces that were conquered earlier, I mean... okay, it's 1599. 1599. I thought it was 1499, which is silly of me. That would mean we would have 1 year. So we've got 100 years to do that. Okay, that's more like it. Stop freaking out, Monk. Whereas this single province here, the Polish one, we only have 15 years. So we'll try to do that if possible, but otherwise, we're all good. Now this war against Mainz might prove to be difficult, considering another nation is sieging their capital. That's annoying. Okay. Let's do it. We really want Wurzburg, the capital, and at least one province that has the Palatinate on it, so that we can release the two nations within as a result of this war. Of course, I'm keeping a hawk eye on the French. If they do not have a claim, if they do not have an heir, we're going to absolutely YOLO. It almost does not matter the circumstance. We're going to YOLO like our life depends on it to actually gain a personal union over them. And if we do find ourselves having a coalition against us, which is very likely for taking over such a large nation in one war, we can just do the cheap trick to release the nations within the empire. And yeah, I read it wrong over here as well. Yes, I did. It's still another 100 years before Burgundy is released as a... core is removed from these provinces. That's what I get for playing early in the morning, guys. For those of you who aren't aware, I've been basically getting up really early and recording these first thing in the morning, so there you go. A little bit crazy. And not exactly 100% on point. It also occurred to me that we haven't been running any cannons, so let's fix that. Okay, we simply don't want Reform Desire, so no thank you. Not even going to read it. I'm not even going to read it. We really don't want the Protestant Reformation to happen. Don't you dare. I need these occupations to release the Palatinate. So let's have a look. If we could finish this before the Protestant Reformation, that's another 20 ducats per month. That's so great. The next one after that is disallows internal wars within the empire. That is also great. If we can pass that before or during the Reformation, which is pretty unlikely, honestly. But if we can pass that, we will probably find that due to everybody being at peace, we would slowly be gaining imperial authority even once the vast majority of the empire has become Protestant. So that's the dream. Otherwise, we're going to probably find ourselves fighting within the League War at some point. Okay. I'm going to start climbing up Hungary. And I suppose I'll start claiming up the Venetian land as well. It's funny, but we're such a large nation, and it appears as though Venice, even if they had simply had their capital, at the moment they still have a few provinces here and there, but even just having the capital, they're potentially able to produce a stronger navy than we are. I think if Venice is still retaining Crete, when we next go to war with him, I will try to take it for myself, because that's going to give us a lot of strategic benefits, opportunity to expand into other provinces like Rhodes. So it's all going to come down to whether we can beat them at sea, though. Uh-oh. We've only got 2 votes right now, which is enough. Why are you not voting for me, my friend? I would really like a statesman, but we're pretty poor right now. Pretty poor. I can't really afford a +2 statesman. I'm probably going to have to rearrange my army a little bit, and by that I mean sort of delete some of the infantry that we have. So that buff of 10% more Imperial Authority is... it's going to run out of duration in 4 years. Hopefully we get another mission like that sometime soon. Let's wait for this siege to finish here, as we can steal his money once it does finish. Totally worth it. Okay, that's 2 more individual nations on the map. Got him. And that also had an effect. Very good. And we're still in a situation without an heir, which is really uncomfortable. I suppose technically France could try and claim our throne, but I've never actually seen the AI do that. We wouldn't be taking Venetia anyway, because I would need the war score to actually take other provinces, and that would gain a huge amount of aggressive expansion. So let's not even bother claiming it up for right now. Continue claiming Hungarian land. We're going to have a lot more opportunities when this truce finishes with all the Italians that were coalitioning us. We're really poor. I'm going to go ahead and delete this castle, remove this castle, as I don't plan to even be holding on to that land in the future. So let's gain a little bit more money. But we are certainly poor after conceding so much land. It's okay, as long as we're hanging in there, we're not going into debt. It will all be our land. Eventually it will all be our land. Excellent, that's the mission I was hoping for. The question is though, can we get 100 relations with Mainz? It does not look like it, not for a little while. But I'm gonna hang on to this mission nonetheless. We've got sort of 3-4 years to try to make that happen. It's doable. In 1 year's time we could switch our rival to Hungary from Castile. I hate doing that as it costs Diplo, but it may be the smartest thing to do. It would be worth it. Eradicating Hungary would give us a lot of power projection if they were our rival, and that would be worth it. Gaining plus 50 and plus 1 to each would definitely be worth the 100 Diplo that it requires to change. Okay, we're getting 3 votes once again. Oh, even Bohemia now. So looking really good with 4 votes. We really... Oh, wait, what? Imperial ban? No way. You jerk, Poland. We must destroy the Poles. Okay, that's going to give us CB directly against them, which is perfect. So basically, it's going to be this, Bavaria, and the Commonwealth. That will be one big war, but hopefully, if our military tech is better, if Muscovy will help us, and France, hopefully it's doable. Because that's unacceptable. He's infringing on the Empire. So if we use that CB, we could return this, and I think that CB makes the Diplo cost of returning core 0. So we could actually return as much of the Teutonic Order as possible as well. That would be huge. He's also our rival. That would give us power protection. So in a sense, that was kind of a blessing in disguise, hopefully. It's just a matter of whether we're going to be strong enough to deal with him. Okay, Bavaria as of... Nice, got an heir. As of yet, Bavaria hasn't eliminated an independent nation. If we could just get truce within the Empire for a short period of time now, or well, you know, forever, that'd be really good. We're at risk of the Protestant Reformation at any time happening, which will just cripple. It will just cripple the amount of imperial authority that we're getting. And there we go. It's the year 1500. Probably a good time to stop here and reflect on how well we are doing. I think overall, in regards to passing reforms, we're doing okay. I think we're doing okay. In regards to anything more than that, we have done really little in terms of moving towards conquering the world, I mean. But having the same dynasty as France is just huge. I hope that we can PU them and we could feed them. I imagine that Castile would remain a... I mean, the thing is, if we could personal union France, we would forget about ever integrating them. And we would just basically divide the world between the two of us. Although, I think if France colonizes, which they're going to do with exploration ideas, we actually do need to integrate them. We do need to integrate them. We don't own subjects of subjects in regards to world conquest, so never mind that, we are going to have to integrate France. But regardless, conquering all of this in one war's time is going to be absolutely great. And when we do form the Holy Roman Empire, we gain a free diplomat as we're no longer a duchy. So as Austria, and the fact that we will eventually get Diplo ideas because of the war score. Where is it? Province war score cost. Absolutely great, and the technology is absolutely great reduction. In order to reach faster Diplo 22, which is pretty much when you no longer need Diplo, that's going to mean we're going to have yet another diplomat on hand. So, in other words, we're going to be perfectly comfortable having a diplomat integrate France for however long it takes. So overall, I think we're doing pretty well. And now that we've really locked down the empire for the most part, this is the first infringement on it in a long time. Hopefully, we can start dedicating our aggressive expansion towards expanding. And it's first into Hungary, and then it's going to be into the Balkan region and Eastern Europe in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really enjoying this game. I hope you guys are enjoying watching. I'll see you guys next time.